Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the coaches and coxswains meeting for the Wormtown Chase, which is hosted by the Quinsigamond Rowing Association. A few quick notes: this meeting is going to be recorded, hopefully with no more bugs, um, and placed on the Quinsigamond Rowing Association YouTube channel. In the event you want to go back and revisit or review any talking points that we mentioned during this meeting. This regatta is held out of the Donahue Rowing Center, located at 237 North Quinsigamond Drive, Shrewsbury, Mass. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Thad Gamula, and I am the regatta director for the Wormtown Chase. I am joined tonight by John Quinn, who is the chief referee of this regatta. John will speak a little later on in the presentation about the starting method, penalties, and other U.S. rowing sides of things. Okay, first off, per usual, trailer parking. Boat trailers and buses will be in the state boat ramp per usual. You can see the state boat ramp pictured at the top of the map here. Team vans, and I'm talking about just team vans, will be in the dirt lot on the hill behind the Donahue Rowing Center. And everyone else will be parked on the street or in the Shrewsbury High School lot. Boat trailers, I ask you are courteous of one another. If we park with a one space gap between trailers, you can fit about 12 to 13 trailers. We have about 15 trailers coming, so we're going to have to compress that a little bit. Please do not spread out in the trailer area on the south side where it's parking. You will have plenty of space for rigging in the center of the lot, so you can park your trailers on the south side, take your boats off, and rig them in the center of that parking lot. If you arrive early, please head to the bottom or the side closest to the lake of the lot to leave room for others. You can see on the screen it's numbered 1 to 12. Basically, the number 12 is the closest to the lake. If you get there early, go all the way down there. Don't park it in the middle. We will have parking attendants in that lot. Team buses will park along the north edge of the lot pictured. Singles car toppers that are traveling here will also park on the north side of the ramp, but they're going to be at the end closest to the lake. They're going to be right in this area. We don't have too many of them if you're traveling in, but this is where the singles are going to park, or the car toppers. Please be aware of the no parking on the street south of the boat ramp. There is no safe parking here. Vehicles will be towed. Once again, behind the DRC in the paved lot, it is for local coaches, race officials, and race volunteers only. There will be a police officer at the top of the ramp turning any athlete, personal vehicles, parents, or other spectators away from that area. This is another view of the overhead parking area. Once again, please note, personal athlete cars should be parked along the roadway north of the boat ramp or at the Shrewsbury High School. To repeat, no parking south of the ramp. Also, across the street at the post office, there is absolutely no parking. The grass in front of their property is included in that rule. There is no warming up in their driveway either. You can see the hash mark. That whole driveway is the post office property. No parking, no warming up. Please stay away from them. We're developing a relationship back with them again. So please stay off the post office driveway and grounds. For this regatta, I highly recommend parking at Shrewsbury High School. If you're planning on coming later, or you don't want to deal with the hassle of trying to park on the north end of the street, this is where I would park. I would also send this to your parents and your spectators. All of this information is on Regatta Central. There will be signs that say regatta parking that will lead you to this parking lot at the high school. Please follow them. They will lead you to the upper lot specifically. From there, we are going to run a shuttle that will drop people off they will go from the parking lot to the top of the state ramp. The shuttle is running from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please utilize it. Okay, let's go over the course and the traffic patterns. If you were here for the snake, it is the exact same pattern, just a slightly longer race. Everyone will be launching and landing from the DRC docks. Uh, all crews will launch from the south dock and land at the north dock. There is limited space on these docks. We need to work together and move with a purpose to get off the docks. Once you are on the water, it's pretty straightforward. There's going to be a line of buoys that goes straight down the middle of the lake. Coxswains, if you keep those buoys on your starboard side at all times, you will be all set. The first landmark you're going to come to while traveling to the start is the large blue Route 9 arch bridge. You will travel to the start going under the first full arch from the Shrewsbury side. So Coxswains, if you're going down the lake, buoys are on your starboard side. You're looking right at that big blue bridge. There's going to be a little half arch off to your left, and then there's a full arch. That first full arch is going to be the one that you use. If you go through the wrong arch, you will incur a time penalty. The next landmark you will come across is the Narrows. This is aptly named the narrowest part of our course. Marshal will be placed at either side of the Narrows to monitor traffic, specifically racing traffic. All crews warming up and headed to the start must give precedence to racing crews. It is single file through the Narrows when warming up and headed to the start. Once you clear the Narrows, the lake opens up. You will then head past a series of islands. You have Sugarloaf Island, and you will go between Coast Guard, or what we locally call Eagle Island, and Blake Island. You can kind of see it on this screen. They're labeled C for Sugarloaf, and Coast Guard or Eagle Island is B, and Blake Island is D. I'm going to show you another view of this shortly, so don't squint if you can't see it. You will continue south with, once again, any buoys that you see on your starboard side. This will bring you to Lone Pine Island and past the starting line and shoot. You will enter a cove at the far end of the lake for your warm-up, for your holding area, excuse me. This is where you will notice the start marshal gathering events together and putting them in bow order. More on that will come when John speaks. A few points when racing that I'd like to make. While racing, you will once again keep all buoys on your starboard side. After the start, you come across the Lake Park Beach. It's kind of right at it's just before the Narrows, just before the 1 mile. It gets shallow there. It's not anywhere on our lake. It's not advantageous to hug the shoreline. You're better off trying to hug the buoy line more than the shoreline. We have several areas that get narrow. Once again, just give the beach some space. Next up will be right after the beach is the Narrows. Passing is allowed while racing. However, please be aware of your surroundings and make safe decisions. Next, you will head up back towards that Route 9 bridge and go through now the middle arch. The next slide will show it a little better. From there, it is a straight shot to the finish line in front of the DRC. Once again, keep the buoys on your starboard side and stay closer to them. To repeat myself, it is not advantageous to follow the shoreline. Please row through the finish, which is marked by a large white buoy. Paddle up clear of the finish line. Crews will then turn to the Shrewsbury shore and paddle across and then down to the north docks in front of the DRC. This is a view of the Route 9 bridge. This is on the south side of the bridge looking north at the bridge. So note the arches. You have a small half arch all the way to your right of your screen. You can almost see the rocks going into the water. Do not use that arch. There are all sorts of submerged dangers here. The first full arch, where the blue arrow is coming from the Shrewsbury shore, is the arch to go to the start. And then once again, the dashed yellow line is where the buoy line will go. On the other side of that buoy line is the racing arch. That's going to be the middle arch. This is a better overall view of the Narrows. Really note how small of an area you have going to the start. No passing, once again, on the way to the start. The blue arrows are your traffic to the start. The green arrows are your racing traffic. To the left, after the narrows, you can see the beach that I was discussing earlier. You can see the 3 little yellow triangles. That's the Lake Park Beach. It gets very shallow here. Once again, do not hug the shore. This is a view of the starting area. You can see the travel pattern between the islands. So that northernmost island where the dotted line goes through is Sugarloaf Island. The buoy line ends there. We will continue buoys past it. You are going to, the kind of, it's not an L shape, but the longer island that's almost diagonal is Eagle Island. You're going to go around that in between. The one on the left is Eagle Island. The one on the right is Blake Island. And then you just keep coming past. I would also like to point out after Eagle Island, there is a rock outcropping. I have, once again, 3 yellow triangles around it. The rocks stick up above the water. It's very shallow. Stay away from it. After that, you get closer to what's called Lone Pine Island, which is the very last little tiny island before you get to the start line. Once again, shallow areas around it. Just don't aim to get close to that island. After that is the starting line and the starting chute. And just in case you didn't hear me say it enough already, please just stay off the shoreline. It's not advantageous on this course. It will result in dings and dents to your hull or a lost skeg. You don't want that. Here is where you can see the warm-up cove a little better than the large map overview. This is the area you will stage before your race. The start line is right at the edge of that peninsula that you can see. You can see the start chute in the start line. And lastly, this is a close-up of the finish area. The big white buoy closer to the bottom with the dash line between the red circles is the finish line buoy. There is no guarantee that the northern white buoy that you see will be present, but Coxswains, I want you to take at least 20 more strokes after the finish, after that big white buoy at the end of the buoy line, to clear the finish line. You can see the pattern to turn and head back to the north end of the DRC dock for landing. Once again, off to the side, you can see the shore with yellow hazards. That's the pump house. It's very shallow there. Common theme, stay off the shore. All right. Hopefully that was not too long-winded. I apologize about the technical failures. If you have any questions, once again, on the course, we will attempt to address them the best we can at the end of the presentation. At this point, I would like to pass off the presentation to the chief referee, John Quinn. John?
How you doing, everyone? Good evening. Greetings from Norwood. The only reason the referees generally are at races are for safety, to ensure safety and fairness, and this race is no different. We have a fantastic success record running safe regattas on Quinsigamond, and we'd like to continue that trend. Fairness is right behind it, but it is secondary to safety. As Thad explained, one little hint that we pass on for these head races: if you are launching your boat and there is a local crew launching at about the same time, follow them to the start. They know where it is. Okay, as long as you keep the islands to your starboard side and follow the buoy line, as Thad mentioned, you'll be okay. But if it's your first time on the lake, or if you're a newbie at this or anything like that, please follow a local crew, and they'll get you up there. We have referees scattered along the course, but again, it's a couple of mile course, and it's sometimes hard to see crews going erroneously or to catch you in time. So please just follow the buoy line, keep it on your starboard side, and go up there. Tomorrow, as Thad said, we will have a marshalling area above the start. We will have one very experienced referee in the what we'll call it is the secondary marshalling area. Just make sure everyone's there and in approximate bow numbers orders, which is how we want you to race, is in bow number orders. then we have a very experienced referee that will send the crews down in single file towards the starting line when we call for them. My melodious tones will be the starter, and what we'll do is call you to the starting line and tell you to go when you are approximately 6, 7, or 8 strokes above the starting line. Please don't race full bore to the starting line and overlap, because we have a timing situation, and we are absolutely intent on capturing everybody's bow number accurately. And if you're overlapping boats or too close or things like that, raising a fuss at the start, we'll have trouble with that. On another note, identification, please, I'm sure it's in the information to you, but we require that every crew have a bow number on the bow of their boat and the same back number on the back of the bow person in the boat. Okay, now this is going to sound very stupid, but whoever the bow person is, make sure they don't put the number on and then cover it up with a sweatshirt. Believe me, you can't make these stories up. People have done it, and it's just very, very difficult. We use one back number to identify the crew as they approach the start, and we use the bow number to identify the crew as they go across the start. I will just say go as you are about 7 or 8, 9, 10 strokes before the starting line, so you'll have that much of a ramp up. The actual starting facilities will be almost transparent to you. They'll be on the shore. They'll be off to your port side. If you look over, you will see them. There'll be a number of people. It will be an automated timing system, manned by professional timing people and a licensed referee. As Thad said, as you approach the Narrows, think of the Narrows as a 3-lane highway. 1 lane going up towards the start, 2 lanes going down over the race course. There'll be a referee stationed at either end of it, and hopefully keeping you in those lanes. But you are permitted to pass in the Narrows if you do it safely. As you're going up towards the start, we do not want you to go anything more than single file up through the Narrows, because it becomes a hazardous that you might get too close to the racing lanes. As in all cases, though, please be sure don't go in the opposing lane. If you wind up with buoys on your port side, either going to the start or coming back from the start over the course, you're on the wrong side of the buoy line. Keep the buoys on your starboard side. Over the body of the course, we have buoys strategically placed to guide you, and it will place you at the approximate arch of the bridge, as Thad said, and then runs right down the middle of the course. From the Narrows, it's just about 2 straight lines, a straight line from the Narrows down to the bridge, and a small right-hand turn, dogleg, if you would, and from that point down to the finish line at Donahue Rowing Center. It occupies the 2,000-meter stretch of the course, so that's it. We have been really, really successful with the cooperation of the crews over the years. We try to run this regatta in a very laid-back fashion. We try to be as helpful as we can to the crews. We know that there are some crews that are new to being on the water, and some crews that are new to and novice to racing in a head race environment, which is not like a sprint race. So we try to be as helpful as we can. Please listen to what the referees tell you, if especially as you are in the marshalling area. Make sure that you don't cause any collisions or anything. There is a list of time penalties that's in the information that was given to you. We have been, again, very, very lucky. It's very rare that we ever have to impose a time penalty. We'll work with you, but sometimes a crew, in spite of everything that we do, just puts themselves and others at risk to a point where we have to award one of these time penalties. If you have an appeal at the end of the race, unlike a sprint race, when you hold your hand up and you talk to the same referee that has followed you down the course and you plead your case and things like that, the only thing that you can appeal in a head race is that you would appeal the time penalty that was given you, okay? Again, we do not try to second guess who was where on the course. If anything is not observed by a referee, it did not happen. We do not award penalties that are not completely observed and are identified. As a result of that, when we see them happen, it's pretty much ironclad that they remain intact. But if you choose to dispute it, look up Thad at the finish and let him know. And what we'll probably have to do is to tell you. You probably won't know at that point whether you have a time penalty or not. You won't know until your time goes up. And then you would have to look that up. And if you care to dispute the time, there's a process that it's outlined in the regatta information, how you enter an appeal. And again, it is appeal. It's an appeal of the time, not a protest. But there's a whole process, and Thad will be the headmaster of that. And we don't pull the referees off the water to hear them. We wait until the end of racing, and if there are any appeals to be heard, we hear them then. The main thing is, please, unlike most head races, if you are approaching a crew from the back, from behind, obviously, when you're within an open length of water behind that crew, the crew that's being overtaken has to give the quicker right of way to the crew that's faster than it. Okay, it's generally, that is the most absolute thing that occurs or might occur on the course. We want you to race. We want you to have a great racing experience, but we don't want you to be purposely staying in front of a quicker crew if you have a slower crew just to block them. That's not appropriate, and you would be penalized for that. If over the body of the course, and this is if you have ever read the rules of rowing, if someone exits the boat, be it a rower or a coxswain, that crew must stop right then and there. Because unlike a sprint race where you have the exclusive use of that lane for the entire race, there'll be another boat right down behind you, in all likelihood, pretty quickly. And there's absolutely nothing worse to see for a coxswain than a small thing floating in the water right in front of them. And we don't want any incidents or accidents. Stay with the person that's in the water. We'll come get them out, and then you may continue on if the person has not been given assistance to get back into the boat. If they can get back in on their own, you'll be okay. But please do not row away from a person that's swimming there. The last thing I would say is that if there's any questions, please throw your hand up now. We're always down at the Donahue Rowing Center on the porch or right inside the building, usually about 45 minutes before we shove off. If you have any time, any questions at all about anything I've said, please come approach us, ask us. We don't want you to go on the water uninformed. And that would be inappropriate. Joe May, I think, is bad. Joe has put his hand up.
I'll use him as an example on this. We can't unmute you. If you have any questions, please submit them through the question and answer function on your screen.
Okay.
I'll yell at them later.
Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Again, The theme is we're going to make it as casual as you let us, but as safe as it has to be. And we want everybody, including the referees. Everyone benefits from this. There's not a day that I go on the water that I don't learn something, and we'll have a couple of candidates with us tomorrow. We want them to learn. So it's all good, and we want you to learn and benefit, but we also want you to be safe. Thanks very much. Put your hand up if you have any questions, and give the cat walks across in front of the screen. It's because I'm in her turf right now.
So for the record, raising hands won't work. So what we're going to say is, if you see your screen and you see the platform, there are 9 little dots at the bottom right. If you click that, there is a question and answer function. You can submit everything through that. We'll answer those as they show up. While we wait for them to show up, I got to go over absolutely no urination in the lake. There are porta potties on site. If you are caught urinating in the lake, your program is subject to a 1-year ban, and you are subject to criminal charges. Just don't do it. Please check Regatta Central for all updates to the race schedule. It's pretty firm on there now, but just in case, a WhatsApp group will be established for the coaches for communication on race day. Once again, a recording of this meeting will be available on the Quinsigamond Rowing Association YouTube channel, and we're also going to post it, the link on Regatta Central where the call info was. I do have several organizations and individual athletes that are still out of compliance. Coaches, once again, if your organization is out of compliance on race day, the entire program will not be able to race. I'm going to follow up after this meeting with another round of compliance emails to everyone. You can also check Regatta Central. So once again, you can check Regatta Central for all updates, but you can also check Here Now for bow orders. Packets will be available with your bow orders to pick up starting at 6 a.m. at the DRC. Several boats with launching from Regatta Point. Past years continue that launching across the lake. Yes. So there is a question for those of you. We have several from Worcester Boat Club that are going to be joining in on this. Same as previous. Look for them. Look for no racing, and then you can cross the lake. There won't necessarily be a marshal. Just your veterans on the lake. Keep your head on a swivel. Cross when it's safe. Don't cross in front of a impending group of 8s. And what's the recommended launch time? So we say anything between 30 to 45 minutes. If you're aiming for an hour, that's too much. 45 is even a little on the high side. We're closer to that 30 minutes than the 45. I see no questions appearing. So that means we either did a really good job or nobody can find the button. And just to echo what John has said, if you don't want to ask questions on this, that's fine. If you do have a question, please approach John and the referees. They're staged on the deck of the DRC. They're more than willing to answer any questions before they go out on the water. All righty. Well, with that concludes the meeting, and I appreciate everybody for showing up, and we will see you all on Saturday. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.